Welcome back. So today we're thinking a little bit about the Jehovah's Witness organization, and did they have a chance to fix this in New Zealand? And it's too late now? I think so. I think all over the world we see Jehovah's Witness lawyers pushing at the courts, appealing motion after motion all the way up the ladder just to hide records. So let's take a look at where we're at today in the news and in the big world of things here. We are down here. So if we zoom in to here, here's New Zealand. This is the area. And we're going to zoom in there. Now this has been going on in the courts here for some time in this little area here. And we're going to take a look at this particular Kingdom Hall. I think I can zoom in a little ways. So if you live in New Zealand, this is your backyard. But for those of us that are around the world, this is brand new for us. And this was just fought in the courts here. We talked about this in some of our previous videos. And the courts the High Court denied Jehovah's Witnesses from running this up the ladder any further. And just to bring you up to date with some of this stuff here, this goes back to 2021. Jehovah's Witness elder alleges order to destroy evidence in child sex abuse cases. And this was talked about here. So it says a Jehovah's Witness elder claims he was told to destroy confidential church documents. And this is where this kind of all started back in 2021. Now, in New Zealand, there's the abuse and care going on, and Jehovah's Witnesses were denied the right to not be part of it. They claim that we don't have organizations or any part of our organization that looks after children. But the courts came back and said, well, you have elders and ministerial servants that are really pastoral care, and they look after children, so you guys are part of it. And so now they have the right to fight all of this stuff in New Zealand. So we're going to look at this particular case here. Former Jehovah's Witness says church missed chance to right the wrongs. So we'll take a look at this. This is very recent news, October 26th, 2023. Now it says a former Jehovah's Witness hopes more survivors of abuse will come forward, knowing that the church will face scrutiny over what happened to children and young people in its care. The High Court in Wellington has dismissed a legal bid by the church to be excluded from the Royal Commission of Inquiry into Abuse and Care. Former witness Mikail Steens was glad the church would face scrutiny and hoped more survivors would take part. I just wish from the outset they'd gone, look, this could be a good thing. It could improve the way that we approach matters in our organization. Let's adapt and change and be open to constructive criticism. But they've taken the complete opposite stance on it. So for a lot of us that have been following cases, this one perhaps and ones like it, that's what we've all been saying. Why don't they just admit it and say, you know what, we're apologizing. But in the last annual meeting, they said that we have no reason to apologize because it's Jehovah that makes a light brighter. So this is the stance that the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses have taken. And it looks like time is out. They've been dismissed from the Superior Court. So here's what this fella says. He says, I think they're going to end up with a bit of egg on their face following this. And Steens said by sharing what information they had with the inquiry, the Jehovah's Witness Church would help people who had been affected by abuse. And he said, He had been in contact with survivors who were pleased with the High Court's decision, overjoyed, and the good things about it too. I get the sense that many more will feel they have the ability to come forward because it has become more public and more people know about it. So here it is in New Zealand. If you were part of abuse, so now you can come forward because Jehovah's Witnesses can no longer block it. Now the High Court's judgment laying out the reasons for the decision is not yet available. As a lawyer, Steens said he would read the judgment with interest when it was released. So there's going to be more details coming up on this, folks. And if this interests you, subscribe, and then you can keep up as this news, we'll bring this news to the table. So it goes on to say, I think many will be wondering what the reasoning is, and certainly we would like to have some answers. The Jehovah's Witness Church applied for a judicial review in June after nearly 3 years of behind-the-scenes legal wrangling to avoid scrutiny from the inquiry. Now, I want to come back to here, but I want to show you guys something. And I forgot to show it to you. You see at the top there, this is New Zealand news, and it's sectioned under the crime. See, Jehovah's Witnesses, the organization, is a crime syndicate. That's what we've been saying all along. This is a big business, and it's hiding pedophiles within. And that's what the whole world's upset at. And it's getting categorized under the criminal section in the papers. So I thought that was interesting. Now, we're going to come back here. They spent 3 years avoiding scrutiny, just lawyer after lawyer. And that's why they're looking for lawyers all over the world. They've run ads out in their congregations looking for publishers. You don't even have to be baptized, just a publisher. And they need you if you're a lawyer. So they need lawyers. So it goes on to say in this article, at a hearing held earlier this month, it argued it was beyond the inquiry's scope because it did not operate institutions that cared for children or vulnerable people. And the inquiry had uncovered no evidence of abuse in that context. So the Jehovah's Witness says, yeah, we don't run child care. We don't run under our church. We don't have Sunday school where there's children that go down alone with the teacher. We don't have any of that. And that's right, they don't. But here's what happened. The lawyers representing the courts or the inquiry argued that the Jehovah's Witness elders, equivalent to ministers or pastors, exercised a level of control over the congregation that allowed them access to the children. And isn't that true? And the inquiry informed abuse survivors who gave evidence to the inquiry in relation to the Jehovah's Witnesses of the news on Wednesday afternoon. So this is all over for the abuse survivors. So if you're an abuse survivor, this means the Royal Commission can continue to investigate the Jehovah's Witnesses and all other faiths in accordance with the pastoral care approach we have been applying since 2019, the inquiry said in a statement. And reasons for the High Court's judgment are not yet available, but are expected in the near future. And until we receive the full judgment, we are not able to make any further comments. And the church was the only faith-based institution in the country to legally challenge its involvement in the inquiry. Why is that? Why are Jehovah's Witnesses the only ones in the country? And it says, although it had attempted to challenge its status in other countries where similar inquiries have also been carried out. So the news, the world, they know that this organization is a problem when it comes to hiding and telling their elders to destroy records. So, folks, this brings a conclusion to what we have for you on the news in New Zealand. But this inquiry is opened up, and now the Jehovah's Witnesses are being investigated even more. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep living your life with love. Bye for now. Oh, hello. My name is Vern. Join the channel. we cover JW World News, and we give you the rest of the story. Today, we're going to the Watchtower, and we have lives on Tuesday nights and Saturdays, and an excellent community. So join the channel and watch as we crash into the Watchtower. Here it is, I see it coming. Woo! Join us as we report in on the Watchtower.